So we went through a phase where we did a lot of cases the traditional way, and sort of to the point of the psychological aspect, you can see an office that's not very well bound and put together get shredded apart by full arch volume, right? So you typically would get that good feel from getting teeth in, and everyone's high-fiving and the patient loves you. And then instantly that now starts this ticking time bomb of sort of, I always call it sort of the dark cloud, right? And there was always a dark cloud when we would do these at the tail end because the patient's really exhausted of going through the process. They're sick of seeing the dentist, right? And so that dark cloud really can shred sort of the fabric of whatever amazing staff or not, if they're not fully bound together and have good relationships with those patients, it can shred it apart. And it's a very like overbearing scenario. And so I say all that because when we started to get that dark cloud that was at the point that maybe it was going to shred the office that I worked at apart, we then started a foray, or my ex-business partner started this hard charge to find a way to do it in a much more comprehensive sort of shortened time frame so that wouldn't be such a big, overwhelming task for everyone.
Yeah.
And what resulted out of that was buying the equipment and getting into the lab and all of the stuff that we still hold near and dear to our heart. And we ended up doing 24-hour finals. At the time, I think we were the second people in the country, really close to being first, somewhere in that. So the reason why I say that is because 24-hour finals is not a brand new thing. It's not invented by the big company that's out there. And there's a lot of lessons that I think that if they haven't already learned them, they probably have some secret meetings talking about, well, what are these things that we're going to fix? Because I've been in there. I was the front charger. There were times in which I can remember my business partner and I, when we were first starting this, the reason why we went that way was the patient base and the issues with sort of aesthetics and stuff and the psychology that we talked about. But there was also a side where we really saw the healing much improved. And so we're saying, okay, psychology and the process for them is better, for their healing is better, and for us it's better.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we go this? Why wouldn't everybody want this, right? And it was very interesting to see. It was a very alienating experience because I can remember us going to conferences and things where they were specifically talking about full arch. Now, I didn't attend them, but we would be around, and that's a separate thing because I was there all the time from Beth, my wife, having to be there. But so I was kind of like that, the kid that ends up having to go to school or go to their parents' work because they get off early, and I was just kind of bouncing around, right? But I can remember we would get these, like, we had these laminated, like, little 3-ring binders of all the positives, like slideshow on why somebody should do 24-hour finals, and we had a way to do it. We were in the lab at the beginning. And the disdain and disgust and the pushback from the dentists is something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Because granted, you want to have something that's a solidly based in research sort of concept.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not doing any harm and you're working to improve, I feel like that's something that anyone should accept, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to improve the process, that should be something that's somewhat accepted, or you don't have to like it, but at least don't treat them like outcasts.